Sunday Vespers mean a lot to us at Big Spring. There are a few key moments where we have a chance to come together as an entire community. A lot of camp is high-energy programs, customized adventures, and a variety of challenges. Sunday Vespers are a moment of calm in the midst of all of that. It's a moment of reflection, an opportunity to ruminate on the ideas and experiences we've had up to that point. A chance for us to look back on the previous week's fun and growth and take time to prepare for the adventures ahead of us. We've got our silent hike up to the top of Little Blue, some great quotes, rowdy songs, and of course, a grounding Mike Mack speech. Vespers started way back in 1948 with Laura and Sandy and have been carried forward ever since. This is our first Vespers of 2020, and although we wish you could be here with us, we are hopeful that you will find some silence in your weekly schedules to bring a piece of Big Spring to your lives outside of camp. Remembering that Big Spring is all about the people. You are Big Spring. Boom.
Paradise, page 62.
Woo. 62.
When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky, where my parents were born. There's a backwoods old town that's often remembered so many times that my memories are worn. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Well, sometimes we travel right down the Green River, the abandoned old prison down by Adrie Hill, where the air smells like snakes and we shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles was all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Well, the coal company came with the world's largest shovels, and they tortured the timber and stripped all the land. They dug for their coal till the land was forsaken, and they wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. I let my ashes float down the Green River, let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away.
All right, everyone, we're going to read some quotes. So go ahead and listen up and remember to pause a little bit and think about each quote after it's read.
I believe a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars.
We live upon the uncharted frontier of the future. Its border, the revolutionary instant called now, is the sole theater of change. As humans, we struggle for survival in an invisible terrain of ideas. And though ideas are more powerful in effect than jaw, fin, or tooth, they must begin with the improvisation of individuals. Rick Sanborn.
Whatever fortune brings, don't be afraid of doing things. A. A. Milne.
Adventure is not in the guidebook, and beauty is not on the map. Seek and ye shall find it.
The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands during challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King.
May the great mystery bring a sunrise in your heart.
If you wish your children to think deep thoughts, to know the holiest emotions, take them to the woods and the hills, and give them the freedom of the meadows. The hills purify those who walk upon them. Richard Jeffries.
If I could reach up and hold a star for each time you've made me smile, an entire evening sky would be in the palm of my hand.
Each day I think about the billions of seemingly small daily acts of kindness and patience, tolerance and understanding going on in the world. The building of hope and spirit in people who are discouraged, ill, aged. The sometimes tedious raising of infants and children to become responsible, thoughtful adults who will live in a manner compatible with the nature of Earth. These are not the exciting acts accompanied by martial music and glorious acclaim. For some unaccountable reason, they fail to capture popular imagination as impossible dreams. This tending of humanity, the preservation of humanness in ourselves and others, by acts of kindness and caring for each other and for the planet. Is it not the most important action going on? Laura Sanborn.
We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. T.S. Eliot.
Now I see the secret of making the best persons. It is to grow in the open air and to eat and sleep with the earth. Walt Whitman.
Laughter is the shortest distance between two people. Victor Borge.
I believe that courage is all too often mistakenly seen as the absence of fear. If you descend by rope from a cliff and are not fearful to some degree, you are either crazy or unaware. Courage is seeing your fear in a realistic perspective, defining it, considering alternatives, and choosing to function in spite of risks. Leonard Zunin.
The principal goal of education is to create men and women who are capable of doing new things, not simply repeating what other generations have done. Men and women who are creative, inventive, and discoverers, who have the minds which can be critical, can verify, and not accept everything they are offered.
I always love coming up to Vespers. I love the hike up. I love the time to think, let my brain wander, see what it notices, see what catches my eye. I love to let my brain step away for a moment from often the nerdy details that I need to be attentive to and to focus on. Maybe it's a problem, maybe it's something my brain is spinning on. And to take a walk quietly to myself is always a nice break, a nice step back. And then to get up here and to be where I can sit and take in this view, a whole other sense of awe comes to mind. That really good big picture sense of wow. And to be able to step back and take it all in, or try to, is really good for me. It's good for my mind, it's good for my soul. I think of Sandy, one of his quotes, when he first, one that really stands out to me is, we need more long lookers if we're going to look much longer. Whenever I get up to a high point, I can take in a new view or a familiar view that's different, as every sunset is. I'm reminded of that thought because it's easy for me, and I'm sure others, to really be focused and dialed in on what's immediately in front of me, what's on my brain right now that I think I need to take care of. And certainly there's plenty of things to be thinking about now and take care of, but it's also vital to take the long look, to know that what I'm doing now is going to be it's going to pay off and be beneficial in the future. And the future needs us, me, all of us, to not just be looking at what's in front of me. And by that, in some cases, just looking at me. That's not what the future needs. It needs me looking out, looking ahead, thinking of others, taking the long play on something, not just the short, quick, fast reward sort of path. Sandy and Laura came here, in 1948. They saw an old potato farm. At least that's what everybody else saw. They saw so much more. And with their friends with hammers and a couple family members and 4 boys, they started Big Spring. And a lot of people wondered what in the world they were doing. But they had a vision, they had a dream. And together, with the family and friends and the community they built every year, they grew this place, and new people came in to be a part of that dream and that vision, and new people left, and more people came in, and people came back, and over the years it's grown into what it is now. And it didn't start and jump from 1948 to 2020. There were steps along the way, and I'm sure there were challenging steps, potentially insurmountable steps, things they never thought they'd ever have to face. But I'm sure between combining some very small steps, some very committed actions, while keeping that big, long look in mind, they kept going. And in the process, built a place that is so much bigger than the place. The property, the buildings, the views are amazing. We know that. But the relationships, the friendships, the camaraderie, the connections that are made every year in the summers and are carried forward out into the world beyond camp every year is what camp's all about. It's such a bigger place than these 6,000 acres. It's global. And it's amazing to sit in this spot and know that so many people have sat in this spot and had this same view and had their moments of challenge and triumph, camaraderie and friendship and goofiness and silliness and stuff you just can't describe to anybody unless they were here. And they're out there in the world looking for how they can bring Big Spring into the world, in their school, in their home, in their community, in their church, in their neighborhood, at their place of work. And there's so many ways in which each of us can bring Big Spring. And now more than ever, we need to do that. We need to share who we are in this world, but we need to pick somebody up and pat them on the back and support each other. We need to be there for our friends and for our families. We need to have compassion. We need to bring a joke, sing a song, and know that even though what we face right now can be very overwhelming, the challenges each of us face is real and authentic, that together we're going to be able to get through this. We're going to take care of the details, and we're also going to hold the long view. And as we do that, step by step, day by day, we work through the challenges and disappointments, and we get to the other side. We get to the summit of the mountain. We get to the end of the trail. And we face trips. We've been on activities. We've been on programs that got rained out or hailed out or too foggy to climb, or we're almost there. And I flashed back to Mount Sherman, and we had a beautiful morning, and it was cold and dark, and the sun came up as we were hiking through in the blue sky, and it was amazing. We could see the summit. We were almost there. We came up to the last ridge, and the wind coming off the ridge was crazy. Almost blew us over, and we realized it was right there. The summit was just within reach. We just weren't going to get there. And we had to stop and turn back. And that was disappointing and frustrating. But some of the biggest learnings we can take away from camp happen at the times that we may not be as successful as we thought we were going to be. We might fail. We might not do quite as well as we wanted to. But that's okay. We have friends to rally around with. And we have determination and drive that we're going to try a little bit differently next time. Maybe the conditions will be better. Maybe I'll have grown a little bit stronger the next time. And that's awesome. Because our resilience, our flexibility, our ability to adapt and grow and face challenges and be persistent is so important. Especially at a time when we feel like we're facing lots of challenges. And what we learn at camp will help us personally. It'll help us as individuals. It'll help us in our community as we draw from that strength and that experience and take it into the world every day. And the next time we're all together on top of Little Blue, we'll look back on this moment and these challenges we face. And we'll have come through them. And we'll appreciate this moment that we're together again even more. And I look forward to that time to be on Little Blue with all of you, taking in this view, having long looks, and appreciating the brotherhood that we share. Boom.